The light will not flicker out, it will mature, deepen, and expand. What was once a spark has become a constant flame, and perhaps one day, when others face their own fire, your story will become their reminder that endurance is possible, that faith still works, that heaven still crowns those who refuse to give up. You will be their evidence, their sign, their living testimony that what God begins, He finishes. So stand tall, crowned one. For too long, you have walked through days that seemed uneventful, unaware that every moment was a rehearsal for this season. You have carried promises you didn't understand, endured warfare you couldn't explain, and waited longer than you thought possible. But now, the divine clock strikes its next appointed hour. The final Wednesday of November has been written into the scroll of heaven, and your spirit recognizes the sound. You are not random. You were never overlooked. For too long, you have walked through days that seemed uneventful, unaware that every moment was a rehearsal for this season. You have carried promises you didn't understand, endured warfare you couldn't explain, and waited longer than you thought possible. But now, the divine clock strikes its next appointed hour. The final Wednesday of November has been written into the scroll of heaven, and your spirit recognizes the sound. You are not random. You were never overlooked. The divine is about to intersect with the natural, and you, chosen one, are the vessel through which heaven will manifest its glory. You have felt misunderstood, even misplaced, as if your fire didn't fit the world around you. But the truth is, you were never designed to fit. You were designed to shift. You carry a frequency that disrupts darkness, a light that cannot be dimmed, and a resilience that refuses to bow. That is why the battles came so fiercely. The divine is about to intersect with the natural, and you, chosen one, are the vessel through which heaven will manifest its glory. You have felt misunderstood, even misplaced, as if your fire didn't fit the world around you. But the truth is, you were never designed to fit. You were designed to shift. You carry a frequency that disrupts darkness, a light that cannot be dimmed, and a resilience that refuses to bow. That is why the battles came so fiercely. From the beginning of time, your steps were mapped by the author of eternity. Every disappointment, every closed door, every delay, it was preparation for this unfolding moment. And now, heaven whispers again, prepare yourself, for what I have promised is near. The stirring you feel is not anxiety, it is activation. Something within you knows that you are standing on the edge of revelation. You sense it in your bones. Change is not coming later. It is coming now. So now, heaven speaks through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 27. Verse 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is my life's strength. So now, heaven speaks through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 27. Verse 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is my life's strength. For light is not intimidated by darkness, it only reveals it. Prepare yourself. Beloved, cleanse your space. Still your mind. Consecrate your time. The noise of the world will try to drown this message. But stay anchored. You are being called into deeper obedience. into alignment with heaven's rhythm. If you respond with humility and faith, you will not miss what God is releasing. The enemy will try to distract you with fear, fatigue, or familiarity. Resist it. Heaven was waiting for your readiness. Beloved, chosen one, this message has reached you for a reason. Heaven has paused time to speak directly to your spirit. Do not scroll away. Do not dismiss this moment. You were meant to hear this now. If your heart bears witness to these words, pause and honor this moment. Like, share, and subscribe, not for vanity, but for victory. Let this message find every other chosen one who feels the same stirring. So now, heaven speaks through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 27, verse 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is my life's strength. And in the comments, type this prophetic number 777, a sign of divine alignment, completion, and heavenly perfection. This is not coincidence. This is calling. Prepare yourself for. Heaven's clock is ticking toward your awakening. Heaven was waiting for your readiness. Beloved, chosen one, this message has reached you for a reason. Heaven has paused time to speak directly to your spirit. Do not scroll away. Do not dismiss this moment. You were meant to hear this now. If your heart bears witness to these words, pause and honor this moment. Like, share, and subscribe, not for vanity, but for victory. Let this message find every other chosen one who feels the same stirring. There are hours in history when heaven leans closer to the earth, when divine order overrides human routine, and when destiny makes itself known to those who are spiritually awake. You are standing in such an hour. The air feels charged, the spiritual atmosphere vibrating with alignment. You may not see the full picture yet, but you can sense it, the nearness of purpose, the trembling of divine timing unfolding in real time. Heaven's calendar does not operate by human clocks. It moves by obedience, faith, and readiness. To the unawakened, the last Wednesday of November will look like another ordinary day. But for you, chosen one, it will mark the crossing from waiting into walking, from preparation into manifestation. The alignment is precise. The day is appointed. You are being drawn into divine synchronization. This is why your spirit has been restless. It is not anxiety, it is awareness. You feel the stretching of divine order because heaven is arranging things around you, people, places, opportunities, even delays. Some of what you call coincidence is the invisible hand of God shifting pieces on your behalf. The sudden changes in plans, the unexpected messages, the unexplained sense of urgency, all of it is heaven rearranging your path so that you arrive exactly where you are meant to be. Do not be alarmed by divine disruptions. When heaven moves, the earth trembles. When divine timing comes near, comfort zones collapse. You may feel the shaking in your relationships, in your emotions, even in your daily routines. But remember, beloved, God shakes what can be shaken so that what cannot be shaken may remain. He is not punishing you. He is preparing you to stand firm when the weight of purpose settles upon your shoulders. Heaven is not slow. Heaven is strategic. Every second between now and that Wednesday is part of your preparation. Every encounter you experience carries prophetic weight. The conversations you have, the dreams that come to you, the sudden clarity of thought, all of these are whispers from the divine realm, aligning your heart with the next season of your life. This is the time to watch closely. Look beyond what is visible. Divine timing always carries hidden signs. Perhaps you will notice patterns repeating numbers that catch your eye, phrases you hear multiple times, memories resurfacing without reason. These are not accidents. They are breadcrumbs leading you toward revelation. Heaven speaks through subtle patterns, and those who are awake recognize the code. When you are walking in alignment, you will notice that even time itself seems to stretch and bend to favor you. The tasks that once took weeks may suddenly complete themselves with ease. People you thought had forgotten you may reappear. Closed doors may open without knocking. This is not luck. It is alignment. It is what happens when your spirit walks in step with divine rhythm. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. For everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. These words echo like thunder through generations, reminding you that nothing in your journey is wasted. Every heartbreak, every delay, every unanswered prayer was part of heaven's timetable. You were never behind. You were being refined for the appointed moment. The last Wednesday of November is more than a date. It is a threshold. It is where the unseen becomes visible, where preparation meets fulfillment. The moment you step into that day with spiritual awareness, you will feel a peace that surpasses understanding, a stillness that says, "This is it." Heaven's rhythm will meet your heartbeat, and everything that was once uncertain will begin to make sense. So stay alert. The coming days are sacred. Do not rush them. Move with intention. Wake up each morning asking, "Lord, what are you aligning today?" Walk through your day aware that heaven is working behind every ordinary detail. You may not see the final picture yet, but you are holding the brush that paints it. Time itself bows to obedience. When you align your choices with divine instruction, even minutes begin to carry miracles. You are walking into the divine flow, and soon you will see how every delay, every confusion, and every disappointment were preparing you for this. You are not missing anything. You are being synchronized. The days leading to that final Wednesday will unfold like a scroll each moment, revealing another line of heaven's handwriting. By the time you reach it, you will know you were always on schedule. Heaven never runs late, and neither will you. There is a stirring deep within you. Chosen one, a restlessness that will not quiet, a whisper that refuses to fade. You have tried to dismiss it, to silence it, to reason it away, but it remains because it is not coming from you. It is heaven knocking from within, asking to be heard. The hidden stirring is not a problem to fix. It is a call to answer. Every great awakening begins in silence, in the secret places where only God and the soul can meet. You may not have words for it, but something in you knows you are being prepared for revelation. The days before the last Wednesday of November are not random. They are sacred. Heaven is tuning your heart to hear what it could not hear before. You feel it in sudden waves of emotion that come without warning. You feel it when familiar places begin to feel unfamiliar, when the things that once satisfied you no longer do. These are not signs of confusion, they are symptoms of transformation. The spirit within you is expanding, stretching to hold a new level of divine assignment. You are outgrowing what once fit you. You may have noticed lately that your discernment has grown sharper. You can sense hidden motives. You can feel spiritual heaviness in certain places. You are not paranoid. You are awakening. Your spiritual senses are being refined, not for fear, but for purpose. God is preparing your eyes to see, your ears to hear, and your heart to understand the timing of heaven. Do not mistake divine restlessness for lack of peace. Peace is not always stillness. Sometimes it is motion guided by heaven's hand. The Spirit moves like the wind unseen, unpredictable, unstoppable. You are feeling that movement now. Something in you has begun to break from the old rhythm of routine. You can no longer live half awake, half anointed, half alive. Heaven is pulling you toward fullness. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarry. Wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not delay." These words were not written only for ancient days. They are breathing through your present moment. The stirring inside you is proof that the appointed time is drawing near. The promise you once laid down is beginning to rise again. Heaven is resurrecting what you thought was buried. You might feel frustrated because you sense so much movement within, yet see little around you. That's because heaven always shifts the inside before it transforms the outside. The internal shaking precedes the external breakthrough. The light that will shine through you must first ignite within you. The unease is proof that the flame is forming. Be patient with yourself in this process. You are not late. You are not lost. You are in labor. The hidden stirring is heaven's way of saying, something is about to be born. Let the waves of faith carry you. Let the discomfort push you deeper into prayer. When you do not know what to pray, simply say, "Lord, I'm listening." Heaven hears more than words, it hears posture. And as you wait, stay sensitive. The next few days are sacred soil. Seeds of destiny are being planted in silence. Protect your spirit from unnecessary noise. Avoid the distractions that drain your focus. Every time you feel that inward pull, stop and breathe. Acknowledge the presence of God that surrounds you. Beloved, chosen one. This stirring is not punishment, it is preparation. Heaven is waking you up because your purpose cannot stay dormant any longer. The trembling inside you is the rhythm of divine timing, calling you forward. You are closer than you think. Now, if this message resonates within you, take a prophetic step of acknowledgement. In the comments, type these words, "I hear you." Or say it not as a phrase, but as a declaration. When you type it, you're not speaking to me, you're responding to heaven. You are saying, "I am aware, I am listening, I am ready to move." When you call, each letter becomes an echo in the spirit, signaling to the unseen that you have heard and that you are aligned. The hidden stirring will not leave you empty. It will lead you into purpose. When the last Wednesday of November arrives, you will look back and realize this moment, this inner awakening, was the true beginning of your transformation. Heaven stirs before it reveals. The question is never whether God is speaking, it is whether you will listen. So listen now. The wind is rising again. The fire has always been there. Beloved chosen one. It flickered quietly when you were younger, small, unnoticed, tucked away in corners of your heart where few dared to look. But lately, that flame has begun to rise again, burning with a strength that can no longer be contained. You feel it every time you speak truth in a world that prefers silence. Every time your spirit aches for something greater than what the eyes can see. You are not being consumed. You are being marked by fire. To be marked by fire is to be chosen for purification. It is to walk through experiences that strip away illusions, comforts, and masks, until all that remains is truth. You may not have realized it, but every tear you've shed was part of this refining. Every time you were misunderstood, rejected, or left standing alone, it wasn't punishment, it was consecration. God was separating you from the ordinary so that you could carry the extraordinary. You have survived seasons that would have broken others. You have walked through nights when heaven felt silent and days when the world seemed to forget you. Yet you still rise. You still carry light. That resilience is not your own. It is evidence of the divine mark upon you. The fire did not destroy you. It distinguished you. You are not like the rest because you were never meant to be. When heaven chooses someone, it does not crown them immediately. It first refines them. Fire always comes before glory. The burning you feel within your spirit, the constant stretching, the restless yearning is heaven tempering your soul. You are being forged like gold, melted and reshaped, until you reflect only divine likeness. This process is not meant to harm you, but to reveal you. The greater the fire, the purer the vessel. Consider this. You have felt isolated not because you were abandoned, but because fire demands solitude. Flames do not spread in crowded spaces. They need room to breathe. God has been pulling you away from what once surrounded you, not to punish you, but to strengthen your flame. You are learning to burn without validation, to shine without applause, to stay steady even when no one notices. That is the discipline of divine fire. Do you remember those moments when your words seemed too heavy for others? When you tried to share what you felt, and people looked at you with confusion or disbelief? That's because they weren't supposed to understand. You were speaking from a frequency their spirits couldn't yet discern. The fire you carry reveals who is truly aligned with heaven and who is merely passing through the outer courts of faith. The fire separates always. But take heart. You are not alone in this purification. The very flames that have surrounded you are the same ones that guard you. What once looked like destruction is now your protection. God has wrapped you in divine heat so that no impurity, no deception, no counterfeit connection can cling to you. Only those refined by similar fire will be able to walk beside you in the next season. Heaven's mark upon you is unmistakable. You will notice how certain things no longer appeal to you, how your tolerance for falsehood diminishes, how your hunger for truth grows. These are the fruits of the refining process. You are becoming the kind of vessel heaven can trust with greater revelation. When you speak, the fire will speak with you. When you move, the atmosphere will shift. When you pray, the unseen realm will respond. It is written in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 3, verse 11. He will baptize you with the Holy Spirit and with fire. Those words are not distant promises, they are alive within you now. You are living proof that the prophecy still burns. The baptism of fire is not a moment. It is a lifestyle. It is the ongoing work of the Spirit shaping you into someone who not only endures the flame, but becomes it. The mark of fire is not comfortable. It demands purity, humility, and surrender. It exposes what must be released and ignites what must remain. Yet within that burning lies transformation so complete that when you emerge, even your shadow will carry light. So do not fear the heat that surrounds you. The same fire that refines gold will crown you with glory. You are not perishing, you are being prepared. The last Wednesday of November will not find you lukewarm, it will find you burning, radiant, and ready. By then, the fire will have finished what it began. Stand firm in the flame. Chosen one, the mark upon you is eternal. And soon, the world will recognize what heaven has already declared. There are moments in the divine journey. Beloved, chosen one, when the past begins to echo again, it calls softly, not to pull you backward, but to remind you of words that once stirred your soul. Those ancient whispers are rising now. Prophecy never dies, it only waits for appointed hearts to awaken. The last Wednesday of November will not come empty. It will arrive carrying fulfillment of promises long planted. You may not realize it, but heaven has been replaying certain memories, bringing back verses, phrases, and dreams you thought you had forgotten. These are not random recollections, they are keys. God is unlocking the vault of your remembrance, allowing you to retrieve divine instructions once buried under the noise of survival. You are walking into the season where prophecy becomes performance. When a promise begins to awaken, the air changes. You might notice moments that feel strangely familiar, encounters that feel rehearsed, as if life itself is repeating scenes until you finally understand the message. That is how prophecy works. It circles your path until you are ready to walk through it. What you sense in this hour is not repetition, it is revelation unfolding. There were words spoken over your life that never expired. The world may have doubted, and even you may have lost hope. But heaven never retracted its decree. God's word does not age, it waits. When the right alignment arrives, prophecy breathes again, and everything dormant begins to stir. You are not chasing miracles, they are chasing you because your timing has caught up with heaven's calendar. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 35, "Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away." Every divine promise attached to your name is as alive today as when it was first spoken. It is circling back to find you, to clothe you in the fulfillment of what was written. Sometimes, prophecy feels like light trapped in the soil of time. It shines underground until the season of harvest arrives. And now, the soil of your waiting begins to crack open. Shoots of destiny push through, reaching for light. That's what's happening within you. The words spoken over your spirit are sprouting, growing upward, unstoppable. You might not hear trumpets or see thunder, but the signs are subtle and sacred. A sudden peace replacing confusion, opportunities reappearing after long silence, your discernment sharpening like the edge of a sword. Heaven does not always announce its miracles with noise. Sometimes it whispers, "Now, unlock and chosen one." If you have ever wondered why God spoke promises that took years to manifest, it was so you could grow into the version of yourself capable of carrying them. You were never waiting on the word. The word was waiting on your maturity. Think of it like a seed planted in frozen ground. The seed never died. It simply waited for the warmth to return. The last Wednesday of November will be that thaw, that moment when the Son of Heaven touches what seemed lifeless, and suddenly everything buried begins to breathe. The fire within you, the shaking around you, the stirring in your spirit, all of it has been leading to this divine convergence. Prophecy is aligning with purpose, and the timeline of heaven is finally meeting the rhythm of your faith. And now, beloved, as you walk toward this unfolding, I ask something of you, not as a command, but as a covenant. If these words have poured light into your heart, if they have rekindled something within you, then take a small step to help the flame spread. When you like these messages, it's not a click, it's a spark. It tells heaven, this light is needed here. When you share, it's as though you are carrying the torch into another soul's darkness, helping them remember their own prophecy. When you subscribe, you're not joining a list, you're choosing to stay in rhythm with revelation, walking with others who hear the same divine sound. And if your heart feels led, if you've been blessed and wish to sow into the message, your donation becomes like rain upon the soil fuel that allows this garden of words to continue growing, reaching more souls across the desert of digital noise. Every seed you give carries intention, and heaven multiplies what is sown in faith. But even beyond gestures and giving, let this moment settle in you. You are walking in prophecy fulfilled. The words written over you have not failed. They were simply waiting for you to become the vessel strong enough to hold them. So, walk boldly into this week, carrying expectation like a lantern in the dark. You are living proof that no word from God ever returns empty. The shaking has begun. Beloved chosen one, you can feel it beneath the surface of your daily life, the subtle tremors in your spirit, the quiet discontent that whispers, something is shifting. It is not instability, it is reordering. Heaven is rearranging your foundation so that what once held you will no longer limit you. Every comfort that became a cage is now being gently but firmly removed. This is the stage where many retreat, mistaking divine shaking for danger. Yet, you, who are marked by destiny, must recognize the sound of construction when you hear it. God is not breaking you, He is building you differently. The walls that once protected your old identity cannot contain the version of you that heaven is unveiling. You are being stretched beyond what feels safe, because safe has become too small for what's coming. Do not be surprised if the familiar begins to fall apart. The job that once felt secure may start to feel suffocating. The conversations you used to enjoy might suddenly drain you. The places that once inspired you might now feel hollow. That is not failure, it is transformation. When divine purpose increases, old structures lose their power to sustain you. The shaking of comfort is the mercy of God in disguise. It shakes not to destroy, but to awaken. You cannot soar if you keep nesting in what's easy. The storm doesn't come to end your story. It comes to remind your wings what they were made for. You may be tempted to hold on to what's slipping away, but release is part of your renewal. The more you let go, the lighter you become. Every attachment that once anchored you to fear or familiarity must be surrendered. God cannot pour new wine into old skins, and your spirit is too expansive now for the containment of your past. Remember, even earthquakes reveal what has been buried. When the ground of your life shakes, secrets are uncovered, false dependencies, hidden motives, quiet fears. Heaven exposes them not to shame you, but to heal you. Everything being revealed in this season is meant to be redeemed. You might look around and see relationships dissolving, opportunities closing, or doors once wide open now slowly shutting. But do not grieve what leaves, mourn only if you ignore what remains. Every ending in this hour is a divine invitation to rediscover who you are without the masks, without the props, without the illusions. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in the book of Hebrews. Chapter 12, verse 26. Yet once more I will shake not only the earth but also the heavens. The ancient verse is alive now, resonating in your own life. What you feel is not chaos, it is calibration. Heaven is aligning your surroundings with your assignment. When you sense things falling apart, whisper this truth to yourself: nothing real is being lost. The only things shaking loose are those not rooted in divine truth. God's foundation will remain, and when the dust settles, you will find yourself standing taller, lighter, clearer than ever before. So, embrace the movement. The shaking is your announcement that heaven is near. The same power that once split the sea is now parting your circumstances, making way for the impossible to manifest. And, beloved, as you walk through these shifting days, remember, every tremor you feel is also being felt by others who are chosen like you. You are not alone in the storm. Across the earth, others are being awakened, refined, and remade. The shaking is global, but the promise is personal. Let the ground tremble if it must. Let what can fall, fall. For when the shaking is finished, what remains will be unshakable: your faith, your calling, your divine connection. So, pause here for a moment and feel the movement inside your chest. That rhythm is your reminder. Heaven is not far, it is within. You are being rebuilt by invisible hands, strengthened by storms that once scared you, and prepared for heights you cannot yet see. If your spirit resonates with this truth, if you can feel that this shaking is sacred and not destructive, then write this prophetic number in the comments: 444. This number is not coincidence. It symbolizes divine order, angelic presence, and the stability that follows surrender. It is heaven's way of saying, you are safe even in the shaking. When you type it, you are declaring that your faith stands firm. Even as the earth quakes beneath your feet, you are not being undone, you are being rebuilt. The foundation is shifting. Yes, but only to make room for something eternal, something glorious, something new. The shaking is not the end. It is the sound of your beginning. The night feels heavier than usual, doesn't it? Chosen one, the air itself seems to hum with unseen motion. That is because you are standing in the midst of spiritual warfare, not the kind that the world recognizes, but the silent, invisible battle that rages between promise and distraction, between faith and fear. You may not see swords or armies, yet you feel the tension pressing against your chest. Something holy is at stake. This is the realm of warfare in the waiting wonk. It is not a war fought with weapons of flesh and blood, but with thoughts, emotions, and endurance. The enemy cannot touch your destiny, so he tries to tamper with your perception. He whispers lies that sound almost true, hoping to make you question what God already confirmed. That is his oldest tactic, to make the chosen doubt their chosenness. Every moment of hesitation, every flicker of anxiety, every whisper of, maybe I'm not enough, those are not your thoughts, they are arrows. And yet, even as they come, heaven has already equipped you with a shield. The strength you need does not come from striving, but from standing. The most powerful thing you can do in warfare is remain still when everything around you screams to move. You may feel as if you're in a pause, but pauses in the divine realm are not absence, they are preparation. Waiting is not a void, it's a weapon. Every second, you remain faithful in silence. You defeat an entire strategy of darkness. The unseen world watches as you refuse to surrender your peace, and your steadfastness sends shockwaves through the enemy's camp. There are days when the waiting feels endless. You pray, but answers seem to echo back in delay. You look for signs, but the heavens remain quiet. Do not mistake silence for abandonment. Heaven's quiet is not disinterest, it is observation. God is watching how you handle the in-between, because it is in the waiting that warriors are formed. Remember Elijah, sitting beneath the juniper tree, weary and uncertain. He had seen miracles, yet found himself exhausted by spiritual conflict. Even prophets grow tired, but heaven sent an angel, not with explanations, but with strength. You too are being sustained. Even if you cannot see how, every tear you have shed in this season has been collected. Every sigh heard, every sleepless night recorded in heaven's archive. None of it is wasted. The unseen warfare is never random. So, pause here for a moment and feel the movement inside your chest. That rhythm is your reminder. Heaven is not far, it is within. You are being rebuilt by invisible hands, strengthened by storms that once scared you, and prepared for heights you cannot yet see. If your spirit resonates with this truth, if you can feel that this shaking is sacred and not destructive, then write this prophetic number in the comments. 444. This number is not coincidence, for the Word of God stands eternal, and through it, you already hold victory. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." This is your reminder that the real battle has never been about what you can see. It has always been about what you believe. It intensifies when breakthrough is near. The closer you are to divine revelation, the louder the resistance becomes. That is why this moment feels heavier, because the veil between realms is thinner. You are closer to seeing what you have been praying for. The shaking you felt before was preparation. Now comes the confrontation. The enemy will use exhaustion as his weapon. He will whisper that it's easier to give up, that waiting has yielded nothing, but those lies are powerless against truth. The enemy can't comprehend worship that rises from weary lips. It confuses him, disarms him, drives him back. And when your strength feels thin, remember, you are not fighting alone. Legions of angels stand beside you. The same God who parted seas and silenced storms surrounds you now. The darkness trembles at your persistence because your endurance confirms your identity. This waiting is sacred. It is your proving ground, your refining furnace, your spiritual training field. You are being taught to move when heaven moves and to be still when heaven watches. Every delay is building your discernment, teaching you the rhythm of divine patience. Soon, this season of warfare will give way to revelation. The opposition you face will become the testimony you tell. The silence you endure will become the proof of your strength. So hold steady. Chosen one, do not confuse battle for failure or weariness for weakness. You are still covered, still chosen, still seen. The waiting is working. Even when nothing seems to move, the unseen realm trembles not because you shout, but because you stand. There comes a point, below chosen one, when the flames no longer terrify you. You stop asking, "Why am I in the fire?" and begin to ask, "What is the fire making of me?" That is where you stand now. The refining is no longer punishment, it is promotion. The very heat that once threatened to consume you has become the forge that strengthens you. You are being shaped by sacred hands, tested, purified, and prepared for glory that eyes have not yet seen. In the silence of suffering, something holy happens. At first, you resist the pressure. You question the timing. You wonder if perhaps heaven has forgotten the limits of your endurance. But the truth is, the refining flame knows exactly how much heat your soul can bear. It burns, yes, but it also reveals. It strips away what was never meant to stay, leaving behind the core of who you truly are. The fire is precise. It does not touch what is divine. It only consumes what cannot follow you into your next season. Pride, fear, resentment, doubt, they melt away, leaving behind the unbreakable essence of your faith. Every scar becomes proof that you endured what should have ended you. Every tear that fell becomes oil for your anointing. You see, gold never resists the fire, it submits to it. Because gold knows something the unrefined do not, that heat is not destruction, it is transformation. So too, with you, the pain you've endured has not been wasted. The moments when everything fell apart were not signs of failure, they were the crucible of becoming. You have been purified in the hidden places. And now heaven recognizes you by your shine. Even your silence was sacred. While you felt forgotten, God was shaping your voice. While you were waiting, heaven was weighing your heart. The people who misunderstood your pain may never understand your purpose. But that's all right. They weren't meant to walk with you through the furnace. The refining was personal. It was between you and God alone. At times, you begged for the fire to stop, unaware that it was mercy keeping you there. If the process had ended too soon, you would have emerged incomplete, strong enough to be seen. Perhaps, but not strong enough to last. Heaven loves you too much to rush your formation. The flame lingers only until it finishes its work. You might not realize it yet, but others can already sense the shift in you. There is a quiet authority in your presence now, a peace that makes people wonder how you survived what should have destroyed you. They see resilience. What they don't see is the refining. You carry evidence of divine craftsmanship. Every wound has become wisdom. Every hardship, a hidden training. We are reminded through the writings of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 3. He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. He will purify the Levites and refine them like gold and silver. Notice how it says, he will sit. That means God never leaves the furnace unattended. When you were in your lowest place, the refiner was right there watching, guarding, ensuring that the fire never burned beyond what would bless you. This is why you can trust the process, even when it feels endless. The flame has never been out of control. The temperature has always been measured by mercy. You were never alone in your trial. You were being handcrafted for holiness. The very thing that seemed to hurt you most was heaven's tool for healing you deepest. And when the refining is complete, There comes a stillness, a holy quiet, where the fire begins to fade, and you realize that you are still standing. What remains is pure, radiant, and strong. The noise that once filled your mind quiets, and peace settles like soft rain. You look back, not with bitterness, but with awe, realizing that what the enemy meant for harm, heaven used for elevation. This is the paradox of the chosen. The deeper the fire, the brighter the light. You have been through enough to break most, yet you rise unbroken, not because you are untouched, but because you are transformed. The fire did not change who you are, it revealed it. Soon, this refining will shift into revealing. The lessons learned in silence will become the wisdom you carry into your next assignment. You will walk with authority, not born of titles or recognition, but of endurance. When you speak, hearts will listen not to your voice, but to the fire behind it. The air feels different now, doesn't it? Chosen one. There's a calm that follows the fire, a quiet knowing that something inside you has shifted forever. You've walked through shaking, endured warfare, survived refinement, and yet your heart still beats steady in the rhythm of heaven. That rhythm, that deep, still pulse, is not just endurance, it is covenant. You are remembering what has always been written between you and God. The covenant was never made in comfort. It was born in tears, sealed in surrender, and strengthened in the silence of your waiting. Every time you said yes, when it cost you everything, heaven took note. Every act of obedience, every step taken when the path was unclear, every moment you chose forgiveness instead of vengeance, all of it became part of your sacred contract. The moments you wanted to give up were the moments your covenant was being proven. Anyone can praise in the palace, but only the chosen can worship in the wilderness. That is why your journey has felt lonely. Not everyone is called to covenant depth. Some people are called to comfort, but you are called to consecration. In your story, nothing has been wasted. Even your failures have become folded into purpose. Every time you stumbled, grace reached down and rewrote the line. You were never disqualified, only redirected. To be marked by fire is to be chosen for purification. It is to walk through experiences that strip away illusions, comforts, and masks, until all that remains is truth. You may not have realized it, but every tear you've shed was part of this refining. Every time you were misunderstood, rejected, or left standing alone, it wasn't punishment, it was consecration. God was separating you from the ordinary so that you could carry the extraordinary. When you love people who don't love you back, when you serve quietly without applause, when you stay kind after being wounded, those are covenant moments. As was spoken in the Psalms, chapter 89, verse 34, "My covenant I will not break, nor alter the word that has gone out of my lips." Those words are not a promise, they are an oath. God himself binds his nature to his word. The covenant stands even when your strength falters. Look at your life. Even when you tried to run, grace followed. Even when you doubted, mercy spoke louder. Even when you thought you had lost your purpose, heaven kept the path clear until you found it again. That's covenant love, steady, unconditional, relentless. You are not just living under divine favor, you are living inside divine agreement. Every gift within you, every dream that refuses to die, every idea that burns, no matter how many times you try to ignore it. That's the covenant speaking. It's heaven's reminder that what God started, He intends to finish. This is why your heart burns the way it does. It's not ambition, it's remembrance. Your spirit remembers the promises made before time began. That's why ordinary life feels too small for you. You were designed for a destiny larger than your comfort zone. You cannot unknow your calling. You can only delay it. The covenant will always call you home. And perhaps, in the quiet of recent nights, you felt that call again. The nudge to pray. The whisper to forgive. The urge to release something heavy. That's the covenant rekindling. It is heaven asking, will you still say yes? Do not fear your yes. Every time you surrender, something eternal awakens within you. The more you align, the more clearly you hear heaven's language. Obedience is the sound of covenant breathing. Now pause. Chosen one. Place your hand over your heart. Feel its steady rhythm. That pulse is not random. It beats with divine memory. The covenant is alive within you, and it will not let you forget who you are. And if this truth resonates deeply, if you feel the sacred pull of remembrance stirring within, then write these words in the comments as your declaration. I remember. 1. Write it not as a phrase, but as a sacred echo. When you type it, you are not speaking to me, you are answering heaven's question. You are saying, yes, Lord, I have not forgotten. I still believe. I still choose the covenant. It becomes an act of faith. A small digital flame burning bright in the unseen. Your covenant remains, sealed by love and strengthened by every trial you've endured. What was promised will still come to pass. The same God who called you then calls you now, and His word will not return void. You are bound, not by fear, but by promise, and heaven remembers. The light is gathering. Beloved, chosen one, slowly, steadily, like dawn, crawling across the edges of night. You may not see the full sunrise yet, but the horizon has already begun to glow. The darkness that once surrounded you is thinning. The silence that once felt suffocating is breaking open. Heaven is calling the remnant to awaken, and you are part of that sacred rising across the earth. Lights are igniting one by one, souls like yours, awakened by divine timing, drawn together, not by coincidence, but by calling. Each one of you carries a spark, and when those sparks gather, they form a flame that cannot be hidden. This is the hour of convergence, where scattered hearts begin to recognize one another in the spirit. The gathering light is not just metaphor, it is movement. You might have noticed recently that certain people are being drawn to you, some who speak your spiritual language, others whose presence feels oddly familiar, as if you've known them beyond time. That's not random. Heaven is weaving a tapestry, connecting threads that once seemed separate. Every encounter, every shared word, every moment of resonance is divine architecture in motion. The remnant, the ones chosen and refined, are being called out of isolation into illumination. You are not meant to carry your flame alone. Just as a single candle can be blown out by wind, but a cluster becomes unextinguishable, so too does your light grow stronger when joined with others. Heaven is building alliances, not of convenience, but of covenant. According to what is revealed in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14, You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. According to what is revealed in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14, you are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. The gathering light is not about fame, it is about faithfulness. This movement is not built on noise or spectacle, it is formed in quiet, consistent obedience, like stars aligning in silence. The chosen are finding one another, and soon the collective brilliance will pierce through the darkest corners of this generation. You are not just a receiver of light, you are a bearer of it. Yet, for this light to continue spreading, it must be carried. Every message you hear, every word that ignites your soul, is meant to be passed on, not hoarded. Light is generous by nature, it multiplies by being shared. So when a message touches you deeply, when you feel heaven speaking through it, do not let it stop with you. Pass it forward. When you like, it is as though you hold up your candle in agreement, saying, yes, I see this light too. When you share, it is as if you take that flame and hand it to someone standing in the dark, helping them find their way home. When you subscribe, it is not an act of routine, it is a decision to stay near the fire, to continue walking where revelation burns bright. And when you choose to donate, whether in small or great measure, think of it as adding oil to the lamp. Each drop of generosity keeps the flame alive, allowing more messages to reach more hearts across deserts of doubt and valleys of despair. Your giving is not charity, it is partnership. It says, I believe this light must go further. You see, this movement is more than words, it is ministry. It's not about building platforms, it's about building people. Contribution, each act of engagement, becomes another spark in the growing constellation of faith across the earth. Together, we are lighting highways through the night, guiding lost hearts toward hope. So as you stand beneath the growing dawn of this moment, remember, you are both torchbearer and torch. The light within you was never meant to stay small. Let it travel through your words, your kindness, your faith, your support. When you lift others, you lift the whole sky a little higher. The last Wednesday of November will find the light multiplied, thousands of small flames burning in unison, each one saying, we have seen, and we will not hide. You are part of that illumination, part of heaven's answer to a world searching for truth. Keep your heart open, your flame steady, and your spirit generous. The gathering light depends on hands like yours to carry it forward. Together, we build the city that cannot be hidden. Darkness never yields quietly. Beloved chosen one, as the light begins to gather and strengthen, as destiny draws near, the opposition grows desperate. You can feel it in the atmosphere, a strange tension that tries to pull you off course. That's because the enemy knows the promise is close. When heaven is about to open a door, hell will try to distract you from even noticing it. The final distractions come clothed in familiarity. They rarely appear as obvious evil. Instead, they disguise themselves as comfort, opportunity, or logic. You may notice old habits trying to resurface, old relationships attempting to re-enter your life, or thoughts of doubt creeping in just when you start to believe again. These are not coincidences, they are counterattacks. The closer you are to breakthrough, the louder the noise becomes. Distraction is not always loud. Sometimes it's subtle. It might look like endless busyness that keeps you from stillness. It might sound like the quiet voice that says, "You've already done enough. You can rest now." Yet, deep down, you know that rest and complacency are not the same. True rest refresh purpose. False rest replaces it. The enemy loves false rest because it feels safe but kills momentum. In this season, discernment is your armor. You must learn to see beyond surface motives and sense what truly serves your spirit. Not every open door is divine, and not every closed one is rejection. The enemy often sends counterfeit options, cheap imitations, meant to steal your focus before the real thing arrives. Heaven is not testing your faith as much as refining your focus. The final distraction can come through emotion. You may find yourself feeling unusually impatient, irritated, or weary. These are spiritual signals. When your promise is near, the enemy tries to exhaust your peace, so you cannot recognize fulfillment when it comes. Stay aware. You are not being attacked because you are failing. You are being opposed because you are succeeding. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. "The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still." Stillness here does not mean inaction. It means clarity. It means holding your position when everything tries to lure you away from your divine path. When you remain unmoved, heaven moves for you. There is a sacred calm that accompanies those who have learned to stay anchored amid distraction. They see the storm, but they don't let it steer them. They feel the pull, but they remain centered in purpose. That's where you are being led now, to a strength so quiet it confuses every force that rises against you. When the distractions come, pause and remember your training. The shaking taught you endurance. The warfare taught you faith. The refining taught you humility. Every stage before this one was preparing you to recognize counterfeit light when it appears. Not everything that glitters is divine. Some brightness is designed to blind. Pay attention to the small things. The distractions at this stage are not always grand. They are often ordinary moments meant to drain sacred energy, endless scrolling, unnecessary arguments, subtle fears. Each one is a seed of division planted to pull you from alignment. Guard your attention like treasure, for wherever your focus goes, your power flows. You may feel torn between multiple choices right now, unsure which direction leads forward. Breathe. The answer is not in panic, but in peace. When your spirit feels still, you will know which path carries heaven's wind. Divine direction rarely shouts, it whispers. It does not rush, it reassures. This is the moment to walk carefully, not fearfully, but mindfully. Do not rush to fill silence with action. Let clarity form in quiet prayer, in patient reflection. Heaven never hurries its chosen ones. When the right step appears, you will feel the confirmation, a deep resonance, an unshakable knowing that this is the way. You are nearing the threshold of manifestation, and this is why the distractions have intensified. The enemy cannot undo your destiny, but he can delay it if you allow your attention to scatter. Refuse to give him that satisfaction. Stay anchored. Guard your gaze. Protect your peace like it's sacred currency. Every great breakthrough demands focus. Every chosen soul must pass this test, the temptation to look away from the promise just before it appears. But you, beloved, will not miss it. You have learned too much, endured too long, and grown too wise to fall for illusions now. So when the final distractions whisper, smile. Recognize them for what they are. The enemy's last attempt to block what heaven has already released. Stay still. Stay steady. The Lord is fighting for you, and the promise is already unfolding. This calm determination within you is not human, it's holy. You have entered the silence before revelation. The distractions will fade, and what remains will be truth, unshakable and shining. Midnight comes softly. Beloved chosen one, the world around you grows quiet, but heaven is wide awake. There is something sacred about the hours just before dawn. The silence feels thicker. The stars seem sharper, and your spirit becomes more aware of what is unseen. This is the waiting space between promise and performance, where faith breathes even when evidence is nowhere to be found. The midnight before the last Wednesday of November is not an ordinary night. It is a watchtower hour, a divine pause, when heaven measures who still believes. In this stillness, angels take note, not of perfection, but of persistence. Who remains faithful when the music stops? Who still worships when no spotlight shines? Who still believes when the answers delay? Those are the hearts heaven marks for revelation. You may have felt waves of weariness these past nights, thoughts pressing against your mind, emotions you cannot quite name. That is because the closer you come to dawn, the louder darkness becomes. The enemy always exhausts his final efforts just before breakthrough. He wants you too tired to notice the sunrise. But you, chosen one, must not sleep through your visitation. When all grows quiet and you feel that familiar heaviness, whisper this truth into the air. The night is not my ending, it is my preparation. Each minute you endure in faith strengthens the bridge between your current struggle and your coming miracle. Heaven does not test faith to expose weakness. It refines it until it glows. There is beauty in this sacred stillness. Think of it like the womb of time, dark yet fertile, silent yet filled with movement. Seeds grow underground long before they ever break the surface. And your destiny is doing the same. You may not see proof yet, but something within you knows change is near. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 30, verse 5. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Those words are more than comfort. They are a divine law. The sorrow of night can only last so long before joy insists on rising. Heaven's rhythm will not let pain rule forever. So, as the midnight hours pass, stay awake in spirit. You may rest your body, but let your heart remain watchful. Pray quietly. Journal what you feel. Speak gratitude into the darkness. Every act of faith you release now becomes incense before the throne of heaven. You are proving that belief does not need light to survive. It only needs truth. Perhaps you feel alone in this hour, like no one understands the intensity of what you carry. Yet somewhere across the earth, others like you are awake too, whispering the same prayers, clinging to the same hope. Though you cannot see them, your spirits are connected. The remnant never sleeps at the same time. Someone, somewhere, is always standing guard. The final hours before dawn are the most deceptive. They make you feel as if nothing will change. But that illusion breaks the moment heaven releases the first ray of morning. Suddenly, all the waiting makes sense. You realize the night did not defeat you, it delivered you. Stay steady. Beloved, do not let the silence deceive you into thinking heaven has forgotten. The darkness you see is not abandonment. It is the shadow cast by glory drawing near. If you could see the movement happening in the unseen, you would not doubt for a second. Heaven is closer than breath. The promise is already on its way. This midnight, before the last Wednesday of November, will mark the dividing line between what was and what will be. Your faith tonight is the final offering before fulfillment. The next time you open your eyes after this sacred pause, something will feel different. Not because the world changed overnight, but because your spirit did. You will wake lighter, clearer, and stronger. The heaviness of waiting will lift, replaced by a strange and steady peace. That peace is your confirmation that heaven has moved. The dawn will not announce itself with thunder, it will arrive quietly. Like grace, slipping into your window. And so, chosen one, if this word reaches you as the night deepens, if you feel that sacred pulse of hope beneath your fatigue, then write this prophetic number in the comments. 555. This number speaks of divine transition, of grace multiplied for new beginnings. It represents the moment heaven exchanges your night for dawn, your sorrow for joy, your waiting for revelation. When you type it, do it as a declaration. My dawn is coming. My change is near. The clock of heaven is striking its final note before light. Stay awake in spirit. The morning is closer than you think. The day has come. Beloved chosen one, the day that heaven wrote into your story long before the earth first turned. The last Wednesday of November has finally arrived. What once existed only as a whisper in your spirit now stands before you like the sunrise after a long storm. This is not an ordinary morning. It is a divine appointment, a collision point between your obedience and God's orchestration. You wake differently today. The air feels alive, as if creation itself has been waiting for this moment. With you, you sense something invisible but undeniable, an energy, a holiness, a divine hum that vibrates through your chest. You are standing inside a prophecy fulfilled. The stirring, the fire, the warfare, the waiting, all of it was leading here. Every sleepless night, every unanswered question, every tear shed in silence was not wasted. Heaven was building this very moment. The divine appointment does not need spectacle to prove itself. Its evidence lies in alignment. Watch closely today. Small things will speak loudly. A conversation you didn't expect. A thought that brings sudden clarity. A memory that reappears with new meaning. These are heaven's signatures, written into the fabric of your day. When God moves, He rarely shouts. He arranges. He shifts. He aligns. You may not recognize it until later, but the divine is already weaving today's details into the tapestry of your destiny. Heaven often hides revelation in the rhythms of the day to see who walks slowly enough to notice. So take your time. Move with intention. Speak softly. Listen deeply. Every breath carries possibility. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Habakkuk. Chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarry. Wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not delay. Today, that verse becomes living truth. The appointed time has arrived. The things that once felt delayed have not been denied. They were simply aligning with divine order. Look back, just for a moment, at the journey that brought you here. Remember the shaking that unsettled your comfort, the warfare that tested your faith, the fire that refined your soul, the waiting that strengthened your patience. Each chapter prepared you for this unveiling. Heaven never wastes process. It transforms it into power. The pain you carried was not proof of absence, it was proof of preparation. You will notice as the hours unfold that the heaviness you once carried begins to lift. Even your surroundings will seem clearer. As if light has slipped into the corners that used to feel cold. This is the manifestation of peace after obedience. Heaven does not just reward faith with things, it rewards faith with awareness. You are seeing differently because you have become different. There will be a stillness in the middle of this day where you'll feel something sacred settle in your chest. Do not rush past it. That stillness is God's whisper saying, "Well done," not because you were flawless, but because you remained faithful. You endured the silent seasons without abandoning the call. You walked through fire without losing your worship. That quiet voice of affirmation is heaven's way of acknowledging your endurance. But be careful not to expect the moment to look like the dream. Prophecy rarely manifests as we imagine. Sometimes the divine appointment arrives, dressed in simplicity, a conversation, an open door, an unexpected opportunity, or the courage to finally say yes to what's been waiting. Do not underestimate small beginnings. Heaven often plants greatness in humble soil. As you move through this appointed day, remember that it is not the end, it is the hinge. This is where one chapter closes and another opens. What begins today will continue unfolding long after the sun sets. The divine clock does not stop when the appointment arrives. It starts counting new time. You will feel something inside you today, a deep exhale, a release, a holy quiet. That is your spirit, recognizing that the wait is over. The promise has stepped out of eternity and into reality. What was once unseen now has form. What was once only heard in whispers now speaks clearly. You have reached the place your soul recognized long before your mind understood. Heaven's calendar and your obedience have finally met. So walk gently. Chosen one. This is holy ground. Let gratitude be your language and awareness your posture. Every step you take today is sacred because it walks in fulfillment. The appointed time has come and you are ready. It happens quietly. Beloved, chosen one, without spectacle or sound. Power descend, not like lightning, but like dew. Soft, yet unstoppable. After the waiting, after the shaking, after the long nights of wrestling, the seal of heaven begins to rest upon you. You do not force it. It simply arrives, settling like breath on the skin, like light across still water. This is the hour when heaven marks what it has refined. You may not see a visible sign, but you can feel the shift within. There is a steadiness now, a peace that is not fragile, an assurance that does not depend on circumstance. The fear that once stalked your steps has lost its grip. The doubts that once whispered have grown silent. You have stepped into authority born not of striving but of surrender. This is the seal of heaven, quiet confidence anchored in divine certainty. For so long, you wondered when the struggle would end, when you would finally feel free. But freedom was never the absence of conflict, it was the mastery of it. The fire did not vanish, it bowed to your endurance. The warfare did not cease, it yielded to your faith. You have not escaped the storm, you have learned to command peace within it. That is heaven's signature upon you. In the stillness of this sacred moment, You begin to realize that what descended upon you is not new. It was always yours. The anointing, the authority, the light, it was written into your spiritual DNA from the beginning. What is happening now is not acquisition, but activation. Heaven's seal does not give you something foreign. It awakens what was asleep. You will begin to notice small yet profound changes. Words that once felt heavy now carry power. When you speak, peace follows. When you pray, the atmosphere bends. When you walk into a room, something unseen shifts. It is not pride, it is presence. Heaven has marked you as its vessel, and the unseen world knows it. It was proclaimed in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 21. It is God who establishes us with you in Christ and has anointed us. That anointing is not a ceremony, it is a covenant. The seal upon you is not for display, it is for duty. You have been established, not merely inspired. Heaven has authorized your voice for impact, your hands for healing, your heart for compassion. But with this seal comes weight. The anointing is both gift and responsibility. You cannot carry divine power and live by human patterns. The old rhythms no longer fit the new mantle. You will feel a pull toward deeper holiness, not forced, but natural. As if your very spirit refuses what once satisfied the flesh. This is the price and privilege of being marked. You may also find yourself drawn into solitude again. Power does not flourish in noise, it grows in stillness. Heaven often calls its chosen into quiet places after sealing them. Moses met the glory alone on the mountain. Elijah heard the whisper alone in the cave. Jesus withdrew alone into the wilderness. The pattern remains. The greater the anointing, the deeper the silence that protects it. In these quiet spaces, you will feel heaven teaching you how to carry what has been given. You will sense new instructions forming in your spirit, gentle yet firm. Pay attention to them. They will not shout. They will come as impressions, as holy nudges guiding you through the next season. Do not rush to share everything you feel. Some revelations are meant to mature in private before they are spoken in public. As the seal settles fully, you will notice that the same things that once provoked fear now provoke compassion. Your vision changes. You no longer see people as obstacles, but as souls waiting to be awakened. You no longer fear the darkness because you finally understand that you are light. Heaven's seal is not a crown for display, it is a commission for service. It does not exalt you above others, it empowers you to lift them. The oil you carry now is not for recognition, but restoration. It flows to heal, to teach, to ignite hope in hearts that have forgotten how to believe. You are not the same as before. You have passed through fire, endured shaking, waited in stillness, and emerged with authority that cannot be faked. You no longer speak from theory, you speak from transformation. Every scar has become a testimony, every delay, a deposit of wisdom. From this day forward, you will walk differently. The seal of heaven is invisible to most, but unmistakable to those who see in the Spirit. They will feel it in your presence, hear it in your tone, sense it in your silence. You carry the fragrance of divine fire, the scent of someone who has been with God. Do not hide this light, but neither flaunt it. Let it move naturally, gently, like water flowing downhill. You are no longer striving to prove you are chosen, you are simply living it. The seal has spoken for you. Heaven has marked you, beloved, and the mark will not fade. It begins softly, beloved chosen, one like the sound of a trumpet carried on a distant wind. The Great Commissioning does not arrive as a sudden command, but as a steady realization. You have been prepared for this. The training, the tears, the silence, the refining, all of it was shaping you for service. You have not endured for survival. You have endured for sending. Heaven is ready to release you, not just as a believer, but as a bearer of divine light. The moment you were sealed, your name became known in the unseen realm. Angels now recognize your authority, and darkness acknowledges your resilience. But heaven does not anoint for comfort, it anoints for mission. The oil you carry must move. It was never meant to stay still. You stand now on the edge of your assignment, a bridge between the divine and the earthly. The power you carry is not for display, it's for deliverance. Some will never step into a church, but they will meet God through you. Your smile will heal. Your words will awaken. Your hands will carry the fragrance of hope into places that have forgotten its scent. You are not just chosen, you are sent. As Jesus spoke in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 28, verse 19, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations." That go is not always geographical, it is spiritual. It may mean go into your workplace and bring peace. Go into your home and bring forgiveness. Go into your silence and bring worship. The mission is not somewhere else. It begins exactly where you stand. You have been commissioned not with fanfare, but with faith. The Great Commission is not about doing more. It's about being more aware, more compassionate, more intentional. You are heaven's ambassador, clothed in the invisible armor of purpose. When you walk, you carry the rhythm of eternity in your steps. The light you carry now is no longer fragile. It has been tempered in battle, refined in waiting, and sealed by heaven's own breath. You are a torchbearer for this generation, a living message written in fire. Every interaction, every act of kindness, every word you release carries eternal ripples. You are not just surviving the times, you are transforming them. But even the brightest torches need fuel. For this flame to continue reaching others, it must be tended, supported, and shared. If these words have stirred your spirit, if they've reminded you of your assignment, then consider how you can help this light travel further. When you like a message like this, it's as though you whisper, "Yes, keep the flame burning." When you share, you become a messenger yourself, passing the torch to another weary traveler who might be one word away from remembering who they are. And when you subscribe, you do more than follow. You join the circle of flame. You stay connected to the rhythm of revelation, walking alongside others who are awakening at the same divine pace. Every connection expands the fire. If your heart feels led to donate, know this: generosity is not just giving, it's gardening. Every offering becomes a seed planted in the soil of purpose. Your contribution is the oil that keeps the lamps lit. It allows this voice, these messages, this mission to reach further, to whisper to the lonely, the lost, the almost given up. What you pour out becomes part of the miracles someone else will meet. And yes, take a moment to comment below, not merely to be seen, but to be connected. Words create bridges. When you write what this message means to you, it becomes part of the story someone else will read when they need strength to keep believing. Your comment might be the spark that reignites another's faith. The Great Commissioning is not about one voice, it's about many. You are part of something larger, something luminous. Heaven is orchestrating a symphony of the awakened, and your voice carries a note in that divine harmony. Together, we are building highways of light through a world that has forgotten how to look up. You may think you're small, but remember, flames don't measure themselves by size, they measure by reach. And your reach, when joined with others, can light entire nations. This is not ambition, this is obedience. You are carrying heaven's light into tomorrow. One act of love, one message, one connection at a time. So, walk with courage, speak with grace, give with joy, and let your life, every word, every act, every breath say to heaven, I am still willing. The Great Commission has already begun, and you, chosen one, are the living proof that heaven's plan is alive on earth. After the sending comes the silence. Beloved, chosen one, it is not the silence of absence but of aftermath, the quiet hum that follows a storm, the calm that lingers after revelation. Heaven has moved through you, and the world, though it may not yet understand, has already begun to feel the shift. The air around you carries residue of glory. Even ordinary spaces feel charged with something unseen. You have crossed through fire and emerged radiant. You have spoken when weary, obeyed when uncertain, and kept faith when nothing made sense. Now heaven pauses to let the world catch up with what has changed in you. You are no longer who you were. Even the reflection that greets you seems unfamiliar, not because your face has changed, but because your eyes see differently. You look with understanding now, with compassion that comes only from those who have been both broken and rebuilt. After great encounters, there is always an echo, a still vibration that lingers in the soul. That is what you feel now, the echo of obedience. It is not emptiness, it is expansion. The quiet inside you is the sound of new space being made. Heaven is giving you room to grow into the revelation you've received. The world around you may not recognize the transformation yet, but it will. The people who once overlooked you will sense something different, peace that doesn't waver, wisdom that speaks without words. The same rooms that once drained you will now draw from you. You have become a vessel that carries presence. You don't need to announce it. The atmosphere will testify. You are walking proof that endurance bears fruit. Every trial has deposited oil into your spirit. Every disappointment has made you more discerning. Every closed door taught you to listen for the ones that open without force. You have learned that divine timing is not about delay but design. You trust the unseen now, and that trust radiates from you like warmth. There is a beauty in the after. It's a quieter kind of strength, less about movement, more about meaning. You are learning to live from overflow instead of exhaustion. Your prayers have shifted. They are less about asking and more about aligning. You've stopped begging heaven to move and started asking how you can move with it. This is what maturity feels like in the spirit. According to what is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 31, but those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar like eagles. This verse breathes over your life now. You are not merely recovering. You are ascending. The strength that fills you is not recycled energy, it is resurrection power. You are learning the rhythm of soaring, not striving. Notice how even your inner storms have changed. Where panic once lived, peace now sits. Where fear once shouted, faith now whispers calmly, all is well. That is how you know the transformation is real. True change doesn't always arrive in thunder, it shows itself in composure. The stillness you feel is not fatigue, it is mastery. In this quiet phase, heaven teaches you stewardship. You will begin to sense when to speak and when to stay silent, when to act and when to wait. The new anointing on your life comes with the discipline of discernment. Every word, every gesture, every decision carries more weight now because it flows from greater authority. Power unused in wisdom becomes waste. And heaven has entrusted you too much to allow that. You might also notice that some people fall away again. Not everyone is meant to walk in the aftermath of glory. Some were with you for the building, not the dwelling. Let them go in peace. The connections that remain will root deeper. They are the ones who recognize the divine in you, not just the drama around you. Take time to rest, but not to retreat. Rest is the soil where revelation takes root. Sleep when your body needs it, but keep your heart awake. The Spirit will whisper new instructions in these quiet hours, ideas, visions, strategies for what comes next. The after is never the end. It's the beginning of a greater flow. Do not rush to recreate what heaven has already completed. Let stillness seal what the fire began. In this sacred pause, every lesson you've lived starts to knit together. The confusion of the past months begins to make sense. The puzzle that once felt scattered now reveals its image, an image of you standing strong, radiant, and unbroken. Soon, you will see the ripple of your obedience spreading further than you imagined, even in silence. Your presence is speaking. The world feels it, the subtle shift of hope, the quiet hum of divine change. Heaven has moved through you, and the earth is adjusting to that truth. Breathe deeply. Beloved, you are living in the after the fire. The flame has not gone out, it has moved inward, steady and sure. It no longer needs to prove its power, it simply is, and so are you. The crown does not descend with noise. Below, chosen one, it rests quietly, like dawn settling on a mountain peak. The journey has come full circle. The last Wednesday of November, the day written into the fabric of eternity, has passed, but its light remains upon you. You are not the same one who began this path. Every fire, every tear, every silence has shaped your spirit into something unbreakable. You have become the fulfillment of a divine promise. The crown you wear is not made of gold or jewels. It is forged from endurance, polished by humility, and set with the stones of every lesson learned along the way. It glows from within, invisible to the world, but radiant in heaven's sight. To carry such a crown is not pride, it is remembrance. It reminds you who you are, who carried you through, and what you were always destined to become. You can feel the weight of it, not heavy, but steady. It balances you. It keeps your gaze lifted, not toward self, but toward heaven. This is what divine authority feels like when it matures quiet confidence. Anchored peace. You have nothing to prove anymore. You walk not to be seen, but to serve. You speak not to impress, but to impart. You love not to receive, but to reveal. That is what happens when a soul is crowned by heaven. it finally learns rest in motion. The days that follow this divine moment will not be loud, but they will be luminous. The light you now carry moves differently. It doesn't demand attention, it commands it through presence alone. Those who meet you will feel peace without explanation. They will sense calm that cannot be manufactured. You have become a living testament that the refining fire was not in vain. We are reminded through the words of the Apostle Paul in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8. Henceforth there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day. This scripture no longer feels distant or poetic. It breathes within you now. You wear that righteousness not as perfection, but as alignment. It is the quiet joy of knowing. You stood when others fled. You believed when others doubted. And you endured until the promise broke open. Look back once more, not to dwell, but to recognize the shaking that once frightened you became the rhythm that taught you stability. The warfare that once drained you became the training that taught you focus. The fire that once threatened to destroy you became the forge that taught you surrender. Every chapter of pain became preparation for authority. Heaven wastes nothing. Now, your footsteps carry legacy. The ground remembers where you've walked. For every step was marked by grace. You may not see the immediate fruit, but roots have gone deep, unseen and unshakable. In time, what you've planted through obedience will rise strong, enduring, and multiplied. Others will walk in peace because you chose to walk through fire. That is the nature of divine inheritance. You may find that your pace slows now, not from weariness, but from wisdom. You no longer rush into what glitters, you move toward what glows. Your discernment has become your compass. You've learned that not every open door is divine, and not every quiet path is empty. You have discovered the strength of stillness, the victory of gentleness, and the wisdom of waiting. The crown you wear is not just reward, it is responsibility. You are called to walk in a way that reminds others of what's possible when faith refuses to die. You are not here to escape the world, but to transform it. The light upon you is meant to guide, to heal, to steady others who still wander in their wilderness. You are no longer merely a receiver of revelation, you are a carrier of it. As you move forward, life may appear ordinary again, but you will never again live it as an ordinary soul. The divine mark remains. Every sunrise will whisper purpose. Every challenge will reveal wisdom. Every silence will hold conversation. Heaven will walk with you now as naturally as breath. And when future storms come, and they will, you will not fear them. For you know the truth. Crowns are not given in calm, but in chaos. Not in ease, but in endurance. You have already proven that you can withstand what others thought impossible. The same grace that carried you through will continue to carry you on. So stand tall. Chosen one. The last Wednesday of November has not ended. It has been engraved upon your spirit as eternal remembrance. You walk now not as one seeking light, but as one who has become it. The crown upon your soul gleams not for your glory, but for God's. The message has reached its rest. Beloved chosen one, the story has been spoken. The journey completed, but the light it carries does not end here. What you've read, what you felt, what has stirred within you, is not just words, it is a divine spark meant to continue moving through you. If this message has touched something deep in your soul, Let that resonance become response. When you like this, it's more than approval. It's acknowledgement. You're saying, I hear this. I receive this. I walk in this. When you share, you're extending light into someone else's darkness, becoming part of heaven's quiet rescue plan. And when you subscribe, you're not joining a crowd, you're joining a movement of awakened hearts, walking together in revelation. If your heart feels stirred to comment, speak from your spirit. Write what you felt, what you saw, what you remembered while reading. Your words might become another's confirmation, another's comfort, another's courage. This is how light multiplies, not in noise, but in honest connection. Carry the message forward. Beloved, let it live beyond this screen, in the way you speak, love, and walk. Heaven has spoken, now the earth waits for your echo.